What up? This is Coach Liebs, and welcome to Wide Receiver Film Room episode 11. This episode is featuring Detroit Lions wide receiver Marvin Jones Jr. He finished with 10 catches, 93 yards, and 4 touchdowns in a loss against the Vikings. Really great game by him, a tough loss, and a game where he just did a little bit of everything. Obviously, 4 touchdowns is a high for any wide receiver thus far in the 2019 season. And this is a guy who just continues to get better, hands down one of the most underrated players in the NFL. So I'm really glad we get to feature him on this platform. Without further ado, Detroit Lions wide receiver Marvin Jones Jr. Hope you guys enjoy. All right, here we go. First target for Jones comes with about 8 minutes left in the first quarter. Here he is down bottom, a little cut motion in the red zone. All right, he's just going to run a simple speed out, but watch what he does after the catch. Really great example of fighting the sideline. Right, refusing to go out of bounds, refusing to get tackled, and a determination to get more yards after the catch. That's the definition of fighting the sideline. It's a mentality. Right? It's real easy for a receiver to catch the ball, continue his momentum out of bounds, or get tackled. It takes something different from a receiver who just has that hunger for more and who's going to fight the sideline every single time and is looking to get more yards after the catch as soon as he has it in his hands. That's what Marvin Jones does here. Simple route concept, just running a little condensed China concept, condensed corner flat concept. He's running the speed out. You got a corner route on the inside. He's not satisfied just running out of bounds. He sticks his foot in the ground, he fights the sideline, and spins off the defender, knowing that he's coming from the inside, able to use the defender's momentum against him, and then pierce upfield and end up scoring a touchdown. All right, here we go. Next catch comes about 4 minutes later. They're going to run a little slip screen to Jones here on 3rd and 2. And teams are starting to do this a lot more on short yardage situations as an extension of their run game. Rather than try and stick it behind an offensive line that maybe they don't like the matchup for, or maybe they just haven't been running the ball well, just catch it, flip it out to one of your best players behind 2 lead blockers out on the perimeter, and rather than try and deal with all those big bodies on the inside, go gain your 2 yards out on the edge, out on the perimeter where some of those guys are a little smaller, maybe you have a better matchup. All right, here we go. The next target for Jones, he's on the top here in the red zone at the 4-yard line. All right, he's going to run a little speed out. The key here is that he pushes his depth. All right, he doesn't do a ton here as far as a route runner. The biggest thing he's got to do here is push his depth and then break suddenly. The term I use for receivers is contact creates separation. The same way that the corner is squatting and getting hands on him, Marvin Jones is able to use a little push off as well. And any contact with the DB, you can kind of push him the opposite way you want to go and use your contact to create separation. And then the key here is just the ball placement from Stafford. Stafford's got to leave it outside. He's toying with it here. He leaves it close to being too far inside, but great ball by Stafford. It's on time. It's on the money. And Jones just got to turn around and find it. All right, here we go. Here's an interesting play. It's 3rd and 17 here. So you can see the prevent defense from the Vikings. Everyone's back. They got a too high shell. All right, Jones is a single receiver up top. And they're going to run what ends up being like a pick play. All right, well, look at the 3 receivers down bottom and look at their path off the ball. They're going to take this outside release path, but then set up to block. All right, the play gets screwed up because Stafford gets pressure in his face. What Stafford would love to do is hold on to this ball a little longer and let Jones come further across the field. It also looks like Jones isn't running with enough speed across the field. Like he wants to get further across the field and get outside of these blockers. But if you would give him this just a little bit more time, he might be up the numbers here and you might see the Lions converting a 3rd and 17. All right, here we go. Interesting play here before the end of the half. 2-minute drive, all right? 2 minutes left in the half, 2 timeouts by the Lions. They're right around the 50-yard line. So they're driving. They don't need too many yards before they're in field goal range. But you have to be aware of the situation. They're going to run like a sprint out hitch corner concept here. And Jones is running what I call a spray hitch, where you want to take this outside release to get the corner out of the play and then run this hitch route, make yourself available on the sideline. All right, he does that. All right, and then a great job when he catches it of catching and piercing, right? Catch the ball. The ball's a little bit late, so you want to go meet the ball in the air, finish inside of the corner, and then catch and pierce and get more yards after the catch. He does that, comes close to getting a first down, dives forward, gains about 9 yards. But in this situation with 2 minutes left on the clock, this is probably not a great decision by him. He'd probably be better off staying to the outside, and maybe you gain about a yard or 2 less up the field, but you save your team the time, where time is critical here in a 2-minute drive. Catch the ball, turn outside, and get out of bounds. Instead, he finishes inside, gains 9 yards. Now the clock is going, and they get a rush up on the ball now, and their backs are against the wall a little bit more. And if he gets out of bounds, maybe sacrifices a yard or 2, but you stop the clock. All right, Jones' next target is going to come with 6 seconds left in that drive. All right, end of the half. down by 7. Big time drive here for the Lions. They want to score and tie the game up going into the locker room. Here's Jones up top. All right, he's going to release inside in the corner and just win a jump ball in the end zone. He's going to box the cornerback out just like he's competing for a rebound in basketball and go catch the ball in the air. All right, the key to this play is the number 2 receiver taking an inside release, all right, versus press. Watch how as soon as he releases inside, watch the safety dive inside to kind of defend that at first. That release is what gives Jones room to release inside here in the corner. I got a little nervous here from Jones when he released inside because you think that he might run out of room and he might be baiting Stafford to throw into double coverage with that safety there. He does attack the corner outside. The corner jumps outside, so he wins with speed inside. All right, you can't fault him on his decision making. You just want to make sure that safety's not a factor. And the reason why the safety's not a factor is because of the great job by the tight end here releasing inside. You love to see quarterbacks trusting their receivers like this, and you love when a guy like Marvin Jones comes up big and makes a play at the end of the half to really change the momentum of this football game. All right, here we go. Next catch comes with about 9 minutes left in the third quarter. It's 3rd and 4 right here, okay? They got a quads bunch look to the top. They got 4 receivers to the top, 3 of them in a bunch look. All right, Jones is the top guy in the bunch right here. He's going to run a shallow cross. All right, and the Vikings start off in too high, but they see this quads look, and they figure, all right, if you're going to run 4 receivers on that side of the field, somebody's got to be coming back to the back side of the field, to the opposite side. There's no way you're going to run 4 guys and leave them all on the same side. So because of that, a really great defensive call here by the Vikings. You can see them disguise a too high look. All right, you got the strong safety outside the hash to this side, and the weak safety looks like he's almost double teaming the weak side receiver here. All right, but like I said, with 4 receivers to the strong side, you're assuming as the defense that something's coming back to the opposite side. All right, so here's this safety number 22 just waiting for that crosser to come back. And as soon as Jones comes across the field, he comes and he cuts the crosser and he collisions Jones right away. And Jones does a poor job getting his depth. All right, he's back about a yard or 2 because he's in the bunch, and he only runs about a 1-yard route. And now when the safety comes and collisions him, he actually catches the ball behind the line of scrimmage here. All right, ends up gaining maybe a yard. Maybe he gets back to the line of scrimmage, if not even loses yardage. All right, so poor job from Jones here getting his depth, but a really great coverage disguise from the Vikings. All right, here's Jones down bottom here. He's just going to run a slant route. All right, too high look, quarters coverage. The flat defender is coming from inside. All right, you see all these guys up in the line of scrimmage. All right, they're playing kind of a zone blitz, 4 deep, 2 unders, what it looks like. All right, zone quarters coverage up top, 2 underneath defenders, and they're bringing everybody else in a blitz. All right, the flat defender is coming from all the way over the ball, so he's got a long way to go to cover this outside slant. That inside slant, his job is just to occupy that flat defender. So you can see he just kind of keeps it vertical. Now this Mike, who's coming all the way from over the ball, he's going to fight through that inside receiver to get to the outside slant. Stafford sees this right away, and he knows he's going to flip it out to Jones because there's no defenders out there with a loose corner. Jones does a good job of just tempoing his route. You can see, he can obviously run the slant a lot faster and break this a lot harder, but he knows he doesn't want to run himself into that flat defender who's buzzing out. Stafford throws a little behind him to keep it away from that flat defender, and Jones catches it and falls forward and gets a first down. All right, empty right here. You see the motion. Here's Jones. He's a number 2 receiver up top. All right, he's just going to run a deep over, and he uses this 1-step stretch release, okay, on the deep over. Nice catch down to about the 7-yard line. All right, now watch his release. 1-step stretch. All right, 1 hard step outside. He's got a head-up leverage corner. Okay, 1 hard step outside, and now watch the corner jump outside and then reach with his hand. So Jones does a great job at the line of scrimmage. The key here is eating up space. All right, you got to take a full step past the midline and eat up space and really make the defender feel threatened vertical. All right, so Jones eats up space, 1 full step, eat up space, gets the DB to jump outside. As soon as the DB jumps outside, Jones has leverage on this guy. So now from there, he's pretty much won this route on a deep over. All he's got to do is push vertical, push vertical. You can see the contact there between him and the DB, and he just uses a slight little push off. All right, you want to use contact to create separation like we spoke about earlier. As a receiver, the art of that is just being very subtle with the push off. You don't want full extension. You don't want anything egregious that the ref is going to see. Great catch. Stafford throws it in a safe spot, kind of low in between 2 defenders. Jones is just going to go down and get it, avoid collisions by falling down when he catches it. Great job in the red zone securing the catch, and that's going to set up some points for them. Here we go later in this drive. Here's Jones up top, and another situation where Stafford is just going to let his guy box the defender out and go make a play on the football. And just a simple release here by Jones, little tempo off the ball. They know that they have a defender on his heels here because Jones has already had a big day. All right, so make this corner defend the back line, defend the back pylon. He does that. He sells fade. Stafford sees the corner over the top, so he throws a back shoulder. Okay, now the key here for Jones on the back shoulder is just to react as late as possible. Sell vertical the whole time, make your body language seem like you're gonna go get the ball over the top, and then kind of whip your shoulders around and go catch the ball on your back shoulder as late as you possibly can. You wanna accelerate out of this release, right? Accelerating out of the release is what sells like you're running a fade. Burst out of the release, change speed, burst out of the release, sell fade, and then Stafford's gonna put it right on your body, turn to the last second, box the DB out, and go make a great catch for a touchdown. Big time day for Marvin Jones, 4 touchdowns. I think the biggest thing that you saw from Marvin Jones today was not spectacular route running, nothing crazy as far as fancy footwork or anything like that. You just saw a guy who competes. Right, he played against Xavier Rhodes much of the day, one of the most respected corners in the NFL, and you just saw Marvin Jones out-compete him. Okay, and there's something to be said for that as young receivers watching. It's not all about what route you run, what depth you push your route to, fancy footwork, fancy releases. There's something to be said for just being a competitive dog. And that's what he showed in this game. He just out-competed the DBs for the ball in the air. He was competitive in his routes. He was competitive the entire day, and that leads to a historic performance. You know, unfortunately one where they couldn't get the W, but just something for you young receivers to take note of. There's something to be said for being a competitor and competing your balls off and just playing harder than the other team. And that's what Marvin Jones did here today. Just played harder than the other team. And you know, I really commend him for that. Some old school football. And that's all we've got for Wide Receiver Film Room episode 11. Like I said, Marvin Jones Jr. just played spectacular. Unfortunately, they came up short, but I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown of his performance. There's truly one for the ages. If you guys love these wide receiver film room breakdowns, please do me a favor and share with your friends. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like and comment on all of our posts, and get the word out there to as many people as you possibly can. If you want to hear from us on the daily, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Sideline Hustle. That's the most direct place you can get in contact with me. I answer every single one of my DMs. So if you have a question, hit me up there and we can get to talking. But otherwise, that's all we've got for Wide Receiver Film Room episode 11. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Peace.